One morning, my kid forgot his lunch. Old me would have driven it to school. New me did not. And what happened next taught me more about parenting than any book I had read. Here is what changed when I stopped rescuing him from every small mistake and what the research says about why it worked. Quick context, this was not one dramatic day. It was about 2 months of practicing the same rule on purpose. I did not think of myself as an over-involved parent. I just reminded him about his backpack every morning. I double-checked his homework before it left the house. I brought whatever he forgot. It felt like helping. But a 2021 Stanford-led study found something uncomfortable. When children were already focused on an activity, parents who stepped in more often with directions, corrections, or suggestions had children who showed more difficulty with self-regulation and executive function tasks. In other words, helping too quickly can quietly take away the practice kids need. So I made one rule for myself. I step in if it is unsafe. Everything else, like forgotten homework, a forgotten jacket, or a forgotten lunch, he handles. And he feels what actually happens. This is the difference between punishment and a natural consequence. Punishment is something I add. A natural consequence is what already happens when you forget your lunch. I was not going to lecture. I was not going to pile on. I was just going to stop softening every landing. Week 1 was rough, mostly for me. He forgot his lunch, got hungry by 1 o'clock, and ate dinner like he had not eaten in days. No lecture from me. Just, that sounds rough, bud. He forgot a library book, lost checkout privileges for a week, and was furious about it. But he was furious at the situation, not at me. By week 3, something shifted. He started laying out his backpack the night before. Nobody asked him to. Psychologists Edward Detsey and Richard Ryan call part of this self-determination theory. Humans are wired for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. When I did everything for him, I was quietly telling him he could not handle it. When I stepped back and let the lunch thing happen, he got to prove to himself that he could. That is not something I could have talked him into. He had to find it out. To be clear, this is not about ignoring real needs or letting a kid get hurt. It is about resisting the urge to rescue them from the small safe stuff. Because sometimes the small safe mistake is where competence starts. So tell me, what is one thing you have let your kid fail at on purpose? Or what is one thing you are still too scared to try?